All right. Hope you guys are all doing good tonight. Come out a little bit later because it is, as you can see, the skyline behind me, hazy, hot, and humid. So I'm going to do my walk a little bit slower than normal so I don't pass out. So, hope you guys all liked my live on the research, and hope you guys also liked my recording, my video of the weekend. Dropped it out, and that was all on shoulder impingement. And then I also in the live I talked about where we're going to be doing. The next video will be on. Going to go back up the chain up to the cervical disc. Going to work on the disc a little bit. Talk about the cervical spine, and we'll go from there. But I just want to come out here and look at that. I'm going to see you flip this for a sec. Flip the script. Flip the script. Look at that. Look at that sun. Where's the sun? There it is. Woo! Look at that beauty. Wow. That's a hot one tonight. All right, so told you guys I was going to tell you a horror story, and let's get to it. All right, so this is approximately 3.5 years ago or so. So I was just finishing up outpatient. That time, oof, it was a rough one because we were transitioning. We had lost one of the therapists that had been there, and then I came. So I was still learning the ropes a little bit when we lost this therapist in outpatient. So I was getting crammed a little bit with workload. So it was pretty rough. And needless to say, I wasn't too happy a lot of times. Hey, how you doing? Oh, I'm doing all right. Another hot one. Have a good night. So needless to say, I'd seen the patient for a while. And I was seeing this patient, and I thought they might have had a little touch of Alzheimer's or dementia. He seemed a little off. A lot of people can fake it sometimes with their memory loss, especially early on. And so, I was seeing this person 3 times a week, and you'd see him for half an hour or an hour. Sometimes it was hard to really tell, and that wasn't really the reason why they came to me, anyways. I was seeing them for hip and knee pain, and so I was seeing her for probably 6 weeks, and so we dropped it down to 3 times a week, from 3 times a week to 2 times a week, excuse me. And then she started getting upset. She's like, "Oh, I thought we were doing good. I thought we could continue 3 times a week," not understanding that we have to justify therapy. One, two, um, some of this stuff you have to start to do on your own. Hence my channel. And reality is, the insurance company ain't gonna pay forever. They're, you figure an average therapy session. If you saw, it's probably 180 probably to 250 a session, depending on how long you're there for. That's 40 minutes to an hour. It's probably that billable. And so you figure she's coming 3 times a week, and let's just give it a ballpark, easy numbers of 150. That's $450 a week. And so I can understand after a while, like, hey, it's getting ridiculous here. We need to do something else. So dropped it down twice a week. She wasn't happy. She didn't lodge a complaint then, but she definitely made her unhappiness known to me. Like, roll your eyes at that when I I always wonder sometimes if MDs have the same issue. Of course, probably not, because they don't see people 3 times a week. They see people, once or twice, and that's it. Unless it's your PCP, and you might see them once, whenever. So they don't have the same. They don't fall into the same issues as a clinician discipline like we do. And so yeah, that gets really, really irritating. Anyways, so we're about 6 weeks in. We're dropping down to twice a week. 4 to 6 weeks, dropping down to twice a week. And I talk about within that 4 to 6 weeks, tapering down to, we're going to see you once a week for a couple weeks, and then discharge you to a home program because you've really met all your goals. You're doing fine. Well, I'd like to get better than I was. I don't want this to happen again. That was what they're coming back to me as. And I'm like, well, unfortunately, that's a huge red flag. Unless you want to pay out of pocket. If you want to pay out of pocket, I can, get you better functionally, whatever you want to do. But the reality is they don't want to pay out of pocket. They want the insurance company to pay for it because they pay their premiums, and I want my service. So that's ignorance is bliss when it comes to that kind of stuff. So unfortunately, that's what happens. So last day, I give her the option. So this is a separate form. Basically, it's paid per visit. I said, at this point, you've met all your goals. I'm discharging you. Insurance, I can't justify any more therapy to you through the insurance company. But if you'd like to keep coming, I'm going to offer you this form that you can sign, and then you'll pay per visit. Well, that went over like a lead balloon. She went up once, just taught and this and that. You're just dropping me. You don't like me. You don't. This therapy didn't help. I'm like, just all this, just negativity. And her husband's there with her that day, and he's about as gutless and ballless as you can tell. It's freaking ridiculous. Good Lord. Really? This is how you'd act in public? That would not fly over with me. Anyways, so yeah, I ended up, she ended up storming it. Like, she was I had her in a closed room. She was so loud. Everybody could hear her throughout the clinic. It was ridiculous. She storms out. I end up having to tell my manager, hey, this is what happened. And they're like, well, okay, well, that's it. It's like 3 months later, she gets it caught. I get some sort of, end up having to talk to someone about, hey, what was this scenario? What happened? I'm like, well, this was 3 months ago, and this is what happened. And she just didn't want to pay for the service, and she wanted, so it ended up being fine. But the fact is this lady 3 months later ended up trying to come back and cause more problems again. Try and help some people out, and that's what they do to you. It's disgusting sometimes. So frustrating too. So that's my horror story with that. Not always fun. So yeah, physical therapy isn't always fun and glory, but sometimes that's just the way it is. So that's the horror story that you have when it's a person to person. That's the toughest part about being a physical therapist or an occupational therapist. They'd have the same issue, and speech therapy, you have the same issue. Any discipline, and it's really only the therapist. No other. Excuse me, chiropractor mainly, maybe, but I doubt it because most insurances don't recognize them, so they don't have to deal with trying to justify their services through an insurance company. You pay for the service through a credit card or through cash or through maybe your car insurance or something like that. And once it's up, it's up. So when I worked with a chiropractor, late 90s, we never had that issue. We had issues of trying to find patients because the reality is uh, insurance companies didn't want to recognize chiropractic. But physical therapy, yeah, we were pretty fine. So, but anywho, yeah, that's still realize it. So, sometimes it's, you get in a profession, and I guess you have to take the good with the bad, just like any career or any job. That being the same. So, not one I really care to repeat anytime soon. Management, we get it all the time, but that's because I'm dealing with 15 other therapists that I'm supervising. Well, I hope you guys are all doing a walk tonight, because I know how important it is for you to do a walk. If you guys have any questions about any of my stuff, you can always DM me down below. I'll get back to you. Hopefully, hopefully everything will be all good for you. Let me give you one more quick story. This happened probably 10 years ago. Probably 10 years ago now. A long time ago. You never forget about the bad ones. I had plenty of good ones. Let me tell you a good story. Tell you a horror story. Let me tell you a good story. And this was at least 10, not more like 15 years ago. Was an outpatient and was treating this pastry chef. This pastry chef, I think, was initially from New York City. I think they worked out in New York City. I can't remember what I was seeing them for anyways. Honestly, it's been so long. But on one of their last visits with me, they made me homemade tiramisu. And I'm telling you, it was so rich. I've never had anything like it since. I've gone to pastries and stuff like that. Nothing touches that tiramisu. Oh god! And it took me like 3 weeks to eat it, because each bite was so rich and so tasty that it didn't take much to fill you up. It was amazing. And that's a good story. You have some good ones. I had one where this lady, she was Japanese, and she made me Japanese noodles, egg rolls, and they were just tiny. She made them like in a pyramid shape, a bunch, stacked them up. Myself and I think she was Japanese. Matt, my really good friend Matt, another therapist, he could tell you. He was there, and so was it Ryan. He was up in Ogdensburg. He'll, I'll never forget about that. They were so good. I mean, I think between the three of us, they were gone real fast. I mean, and she made them twice, and that lady was so sweet. She was so nice. I think it actually was Matt's patient. It wasn't mine, but the pastry chef was my patient. But anyways, those are some good times. It's funny when you're in the moment, you don't realize it. You don't realize it to that reflection. So be mindful out there about that. So just when you think it's bad, it's probably not that bad. So anyways, I'm gonna leave you guys with that tonight, and I'll see you next time. And look out for that next cervical spine disc I'm going to be doing here. I should hopefully drop that. I should drop that on Wednesday. All right. Until next time, look up and keep smiling. See you next time, folks.